Đồ ạt cho mình.
Trên này cái
Okay,
dụng
so now as you can see, this is a completely vectorial file. So you have to upload it 3 times going on object mode. And you can edit everything. You can edit the shapes, the colors, fonts. You see that here you can now see legend, headlines. We are going to add a grid, but this is not something we want to work on now. I work on this aspect later. Now I want to use Illustrator to visualize our main level of information, the per capita CO2 emissions. Remember, we have 20 years for each one of these countries. Let's come back to interest. I want to copy the images that I found so that I have them here as reference. Let's say it was this one. Okay, I decided that each year will be represented by a curved line. And I want to design this curved line. So let's start designing one using the pencil. I will design a few options. And then if you are not satisfied with them, something that I do is go into Object, Path, Simplify, and you see that you can simplify your shape. Satisfied with this shape. Now this curve will be 1 year. I want to show you how we use this single curve to have our 20 years per country. I'm selecting it, I'm pressing R on my keyboard, or if you prefer this, and I'm clicking here. I want this to be my anchor point. Then I'm pressing Option so that I can duplicate it, and I'm just dragging it. See? Now, what I'm going to do is to go to Object, Transform again, or Command. And you see, it just repeated my previous action. And I'm going to do it for 20 times. You see, this is a very great way to super quickly have our shape. Now, each line is 1 year, and this is my old country. What I want to do is to resize my lines according to the correct numbers, so the per capita CO2 emissions. And of course, I won't do it manually. I want to do it using an accurate representation of my numbers. And in order to do it, I'm going to use some tools that Illustrator provides. For instance, also with Illustrator, it's possible to design graphics. You see, here, for instance, I have a bar chart. It's not the one that I'm going to use, but I want to show you. Click here, I create my shape. And also here, you can or copy and paste your numbers, or just type in them. I just want to show you an example. You type your numbers here, I press check, you see, and you have your graphic. And at the moment, this is not a normal vectorial file, because if you click and go to data, you can then change your data or add numbers, and you see that it changes also the graphic. If you want it to be a normal vectorial, you want to check, it will ask if you really want to ungroup it, because once you have ungrouped it, you cannot change that anymore. Yes, and group it a few more times. And you see, now I can work on it as a normal vectorial. So this is just to show you that this tool exists, but I'm going to use another one. Here, you see these 3 dots. Here, you can find other tools from Illustrator that are not in the standard view. And I want to use the radar graph. Drag it here, use it. And I want to quickly show you how it works. I type some random numbers. And you see that it displays them as a radar graph. Now, what I want to do is to use this structure as base to calculate the correct length of my curves. Copy and pasting my answer data. And now I'm going to show you how. If we click 2 times here on the relay graph, and we go on value axis, you see that there is a possibility of selecting your minimum and your maximum value. And they're reflected here. You see the minimum value is 0, and the maximum value here is 8. And this is very important, because we are going to copy and paste here different values, but we want the minimum and the maximum always to be the same, so that the grid is always the same, and also the reference point. So I want to see what are the minimum and the maximum values of the data that we are going to copy here. Let's go back to our data set. I want to duplicate again this sheet and to call it for Illustrator. I always like to have different steps of my data set, so that if I need to, I come back to the previous one. Now I want to select all my fields. And I want to see what are the maximum and minimum value for the per capita circulation. So I'm sorting that. See, the minimum is 7 and the maximum is 35. So I'm coming back to my graph and I want to leave 0 as minimum and a simplified version of the maximum for this. I can delete this example now and let's try one. I want to order my data by year now and then by country. You see that now I have all my countries and within all my countries I have the data ordered by year. 1000. This is the order that I want. Let's try this one. Copy that, go back to Illustrator, I just press Command B raster, and you see that I've already visualized my values, and I click here, my minimum and maximum values are the ones that you see that now all these values are on a circle, but I want them to be on a semicircle. Also because it's easier this way to see the comparison among different years. And so I want to do another quick trick. It's something that I often do. I want to add empty brackets here. You see, so that my data are going to be on a semi-bracket shape. For instance, I want to type 15 zeros. Check. And you see that now the data are not on circle anymore. This is a shape that I'm going to use as reference to properly resize all my lines. I'm going to drag my shape here, adjust it, and then using this as base to resize each of them. But we'll do this process later. At first, I want to visualize the data for all my countries. And I usually do these things outside my artboard. I can create a new layer for them. And I can call it info. Again, I prefer to have all the different steps so that if I need, I can come back to the previous steps if there are changes needed, and I can easily change them without having to redo it. So we already done Australia, but let's see. Don't worry about the actual size because we can edit it later. So I copy it, place it here, and add in my zeros. And I also want to copy the name of the country, so I have the reference. Now, pressing Option, I drag it, duplicate it, and pressing Command D, I can do it 10 times. Command D is the object transforming an object that I showed you. Now to the other one, I copy the data. I click data, and if I simply do Command B, you see, it changes my data, keeping always the same grid and also these empty values that I need